Right, sanibonani guys. In this lesson for today, discuss question one only, and then the rest of the questions for this question paper uzowathola in the description below. Ngizoshiya ama-links for amanye ama-questions akhona kule question paper. Right, before ngiphendula question one, I would like to say thanks guys for the support. Ngiyabona i-channel yethu iyakhula. Sisaphase the 8,000 subscriber milestone, and it's because of you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy in performance. I'm not happy on my side because I should be posting every day. I should be uploading content every day, but unfortunately angikhoni go beyond amandla wami. Like I'm always busy on a daily basis. I'm always busy. Nginama students engiwatteachayo every day, almost every day. Well, but esikhathini esiningi angisitholi isikhathi sokuthi ngirecord ama-video bese ngiyawa-uploada on this channel. So I would like to say thank you for being patient as well, you know. So whenever I get time, I just make content bese ngiyaposta la. So thanks for the support guys. Right, now asiphenduleni question one wethu. Question one sikhuluma ngama-equations. Question 1.1.1, we are given a quadratic equation la on its standard form. Basiphe a quadratic equation on its standard form lana. Ngichaza ukuthini nangithi it's an equation on its standard form? I mean it's ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. That's the standard form of a quadratic equation. So this equation is actually on this standard form. So ungasebenzisa any of the three methods for solving a quadratic equation. You can use the factoring method, you can use the quadratic formula, or you can even use iloganji, completing the square. But for 2 marks, I'd rather use factoring method because it's the easiest one. It's the easiest one, and the much more faster than the other two. Mawuthatha ukubheka ku 1.1.2, but the calculate lana, this is another form of a quadratic equation, but the answer is going to be an irrational number. So in such a case, we cannot use a factoring method, but instead we have to use the other two methods, completing the square or a quadratic formula. So for 1.1.1 sizosebenzisa factoring method, but feel free to use the other two methods. So lana ngizosebenzisa factoring method. So now 1.1.1, nayi equation yethu la, it's x squared minus 5x minus 6 equal to 0. So basically ngifuna two numbers engizothi nangizimultiply zinginikeze minus 6, and the same numbers ngithi nangizi-adda zinginikeze ubani, u-negative 5, zinginikeze ulo kanje u-negative 5. So therefore those two numbers are actually minus 6 and 1, minus 6 and 1, minus 6 and 1. Anginikeza ubani, minus 6 nangimultiply no positive 1 ngithola u-negative 6, negative 6 nangi-adda no positive 1 ngithola negative bani 5. So therefore ama-factors wethu kahle kahle nawa la, ubani u-x negative 6 close bracket x plus 1 equal to bani 0. So therefore the roots for equation yethu kuba x equal to 6 or x equal to negative 1. So these are the roots for equation yethu. Or you can even use iloganji, quadratic equation. So let's use a quadratic equation and see if it's the same result or what. So therefore this is the quadratic formula, na quadratic formula yethu la. So from this equation a1, I see that a is equal to 1, b is equal to -5, c is equal to -6. Then after plugging into a quadratic equation yami, I get this. So therefore after substituting I can calculate. Ngifuna ukuprove ukuthi like the quadratic formula it still works now. So therefore sizothi negative open bracket -5 plus -5 squared -4 it's 1 c over -6 to a1. So therefore we see that answer yethu bani was 6. The first answer ubani was 6 as above. So lana it's 6, and then let's put the negative lana before the square root because it's plus minus, so the other answer ubani -1. So these are the answers for, so these are the roots for equation yethu yokuqala. So now siya ku 1.1.2. 1.1.2, it's actually two brackets multiplying each other out. This bracket multiplying this one, this bracket multiplying this one equal to bani 16, right? Equal to bani 16. Okay, just a quick side note, DJ. Let me point this out. Le bracket leli cannot be equated to 16, or this bracket cannot be equated to 16. This is not allowed. 3x minus 1 equal to 16, or x minus 4 equal to 16. This would be allowed if it was 3x minus 1 close bracket x minus 4 equal to 0. Therefore buzothatha le bracket will equate to 0, or this bracket will equate to bani to 0. But if it's a number that's greater than 0 or less than 0, this cannot be allowed. So if wenza sona, it's going to be wrong. So therefore we have to we have to multiply out lama brackets way too now. So therefore sizoti 3x times x, total out 3x squared, and then this 3x times -4, it's -12x. This minus 1 times x, it's minus x, minus 1 times -4, it's plus 4 equals to 16. 3x squared minus 13x plus 4, not 14 but plus 4, -16 in transposal of 16, about 3x squared minus 13x -12 equal to 0. Okay, now after multiplying lama brackets, this is what I get. Ngithola a quadratic equation on its standard form. So therefore equation yam naku standard form, so, and then uyabona la bathini bathi I need to express the answer yam correct to 2 decimal places. So therefore it's either apply a quadratic formula or you complete the square to find ama roots wakho la. So therefore mina ngizosebenzisa ilo kanje I quadratic formula. Ngizosebenzisa I quadratic formula. Na I quadratic formula yami already singisubstituteile la. Nangu b, nangu b, nangu b, nangu a ngimsubstituteile. So therefore if I calculate ama-roots wami la ngiyothola u-negative open bracket negative 13 plus square root negative 13 squared minus 4 3 close bracket negative 12 divided by 2 3 equal to the first root give about 5 comma 1 2 and then the other root so faku negative ke la bese siyabuya sifaku negative la negative right is negative 0.78. So therefore these are the two roots for this quadratic equation go standard form. Sorry man, for this quadratic equation go 1.1.2. so therefore siya go 1.1.3 ke manje. Alright, now 1.1.3. 1.1.3 is a quadratic inequality equation. This is a quadratic inequality equation for 3 marks. Right. Okay. Now equation yami ngiyayirewrite lana on the right hand side. So now ngizophinde ngi-rewrite on its standard form. In other words, ngisusa lolo kanje, ngisusa u negative x squared, ngifuna ekuqale yena, ngifuna ukuqala u-x squared la. But there's a problem. I don't want lo x squared ukuthi abe negative. I want to make sure ukuthi x squared wami uhlala njani a positive. The x squared, I want the x squared ukuthi ahlale anjani a positive. So now things zoyenza again. Divide throughout negative 1 negative 1 negative 1. So bese ngizosala no x squared minus 4x less than or equal to 0. By dividing by a negative number, the inequality sign yenzani change. But now there's a common factor of x la. Let's take it out. Ngiyosala x minus 4 less than or equal to 0. So therefore ama critical values wami ubani nobani x equal to 0 or x equal to 4. So therefore nangiplotta loku kulo kanje ku number line ngizothola ubani u0 uzohlala la, u4 ahlale kuphi la. Right. So therefore into ngifuna ukuyenza ke la. Let's grab the eraser and just erase this. Or I think tumgegel. Yeah, tumgegel. Okay. Now into ngifuna ukuthi yenzeke ke la. I'm looking for ama x values. Ama solutions wami for this equation, ama x values ngizothi nangwa substitute to this equation, this original equation. Now I substitute back to this original equation. X wami ngizothi nangum substitute anginikeze a value that is greater or equal to 0. Nangifaka u-x kwamele nginikeze what? A value that's greater or equal to bani 0. So we can test out ama solutions wethu la on this number line. So mina ngisebenzisa number line method. There's also a table method, there's also a graphical method, but mina I like iloganje number line method. So therefore to test out ama solutions wakho ku number line, you need to substitute a value ka x or uqala ngevalue a greater than bani 4. We substitute la ku x so that you can test ama solutions wakho. Test ama solutions wakho ngichaza ukuthini. Let's go back to calculator yethu. I'm actually looking for 4 open bracket, I'm punching in this formula le x. The first x esizoyisebenzisa, it's a value that's greater than 4. A value that's greater than 4 can be 5, 6, 7. Asebenzise u6 in this case. 6 la kuno x khona ngiyofaka ubani u6 minus open bracket 6 close bracket squared equal to. So uyabona ukuthi uma ngisubstitute ulo kanje u6 or a value that's greater than 4, I get a negative bani value. So in other words, lo 6 will represent wonke lama value angapha are greater than bani 4. So whenever ngisubstitute a value a greater than 4, I get a negative answer, right? Asibone ke, let's substitute a value that's between 0 and 4. Ubani u1. Sifaka u1. 1. Yabo ukuthi nangisubstitute u1 ngithola a value that's what? Positive. How about the substitute a value that's less than 0? Less than 0, negative 1. Negative 1 equal to ngithola a negative value, right? A negative value. Sithena ama solutions wethu yilabo x labe sithi na substitute ngabo into this equation asitike a value that's greater or equal to 0. Yimaphi lawo ama x values? Ilama x values up between 0 and 4. But lama circles azoba closed. Why ngisho njalo? Ngoba u0 no 4 they are both included in our solution. So therefore abo x bethu bazoba between 0 and 4. Or unga express i-answer yakho as unga express kanjani? Mhlawumbe unga express as x element of 0 and 4. X is element of between 0 and 4 with 0 included and 4 included. So that's our solution for this equation. So this is a quadratic inequality equation. So if it's greater than without the equal sign, you just leave lama circles open, right? Okay ke manje sisiya ku 1.1.4. 1.1.4 this is an equation. Now we are solving for x, like it's an exponential equation, but we need to do some manipulation. So therefore into engizoyenza yokuqala nayo la ngizorewrite the numerator the power of 5 exponent 2x as 5 exponent x in outside the bracket about 2 minus 1 divided by 5x plus 1 equal to 4. Equal to 4. Why am I writing this equation ngale ndlela le? So that cause ngiyabona ukuthi this power le elaphezulu 5x raised to exponent 2x is actually a squared value because of the 2, right? And then the 1 is also a perfect square, and then a difference between two squares siyenzani siyakhona ukuyi-factorize. The numerator ngibone ukuthi siyakhona ukuyi-factorize. So I'm putting the 2 outside so that ukhona ukubona ukuthi this is actually a squared value, and a difference between two squared values is actually what? A difference between two squares. So this thing zoyibhala as 5 exponent x minus 1. So I'm actually simplifying the difference between two squares as such. 5x plus 1 equal to 4. So this cancels this. So salano 5 exponent x minus 1 equal to 4 equal to 4. So therefore nang simplify further la ngiyothola u 5x equal to 4 plus 1, 5x equal to 5, 4 plus 1 is 5, so x is equal to 1. So this is a 1 to 1. I just drop my exponent, so x is equal to 1 for this equation. So yeah, so sisiyaku 1.1.5. Okay, oh no, it's actually 1.2. So go 1.2, we are given a simultaneous equation where we solve for x and y. So I'm given two equations la. X plus 3y equal to 2, x squared plus 4xy minus 5 is equal to 0. I'm given two equations. I need to solve them simultaneously. So the trick lana kuma simultaneous equation, not wonke but the rule of thumb ongayisebenzisa la, or the protocol ongayisebenzisa whenever solving simultaneous equation, especially simultaneous equation without brackets like this one ifana nale. Into ongayenza ukuthi you need to take one of the two equations and make the variable in a coefficient of 1 as the subject of the formula. Like in this case, this equation komele siyithathe siyenze u-x the subject of the formula ngoba i-coefficient yakhe ubani ngu-1, right? Ngoba i-coefficient yakhe ubani u-1. But it's going to be tricky if uthatha this variable ka x squared naye u-coefficient yakhe ubani ngu-1. The coefficient ka x squared ubani u-1 as well, but mina ngithi avoid ama-variables afana nalawo xy, x squared, 3y, uyabona, 3y wena uzifunela le variable lena in a coefficient of y engekho squared as well. So that therefore bese uyayithatha uyenza the subject of the formula, right? So the first thing komele siyenze siyenzani, we take the two equations, therefore siwanikeza amagama equation 1 and equation bani 2. Therefore siyothatha u-equation 1 ne, so thatha u-equation 1 siyenze u-x the subject of the formula as ngichazile ukuthi we have to take the variable with the coefficient of 1 siyenze ubani, siyenze the subject of the formula. Therefore after making x the subject of the formula, we have equation 3. Therefore so thatha equation 3 sim substitute to this equation 2. So substitute equation 3 into equation bani 2. So therefore now equation 2 ku x in substitute this 2 minus 3y. So nazo, so therefore nangi simplify this thing yothola u4, so it's two brackets, angisho two brackets athingenze so it's two brackets 2 minus 3y, 2 minus 3y plus lana ngiyothola ngayiki, ngiyothola 4 times 2 times y, yeah, it's 8y, 4 times negative 3 is negative 12 times y, it's negative 12y squared minus 5 equal to 0. So therefore you multiply lapha ngiyothola 4 boop, 2 times negative 3 it's negative 6, so it's negative 12y lana, and then negative 3y times negative 3y, it's 9y squared plus xy minus 12y squared minus 5 equal to 0. So therefore etama like terms, like term, like term, like term, like term, like term, like term. So therefore total negative 1 yokuqala, negative 12 plus 8 plus 8 minus 2, yeah, okay, it's negative 4y and 9y squared, 9y squared minus 12y, it's negative 3y squared equal to 0. So therefore atingiqedelele ngapha. So therefore okay, athi ngibhale on its standard form, minus 4y minus y minus 1 is equal to 0. So therefore ungasebenzisa i-quadratic equation to simplify la, but mina ngizosebenzisa i-factoring method. But now usebenzisa i-factoring method, the coefficient of the squared variable must be a positive. So y squared you divide on negative 1 throughout, negative 1 throughout, bese kuba plus 4y plus 1 equal to 0. So factoring method equal to 0. So 1 1 plus 1 plus 1 y, so y is equal to negative 1, or y is equal to negative 1 over 3 root 1 root 2. So therefore y ngiyomthatha ngimsubstitute into equation 3, ngithathe nalo y lo ngimsubstitute into equation number 3. So nangisubstitute y ngo negative 1, uyothola uba x, uyothola ukuthi x is equal to, where there's y uyofaka negative 1, so it's 2 plus 3 is 5x when substitute, what's x when substitute out negative 1 over 3, uyothola positive 3 lana, positive 1, so it's actually 3 la. So this is the x value and another x value. So now my roots one for this simultaneous equation. For this simultaneous equation, right now 1.3, we are given a rectangular box with dimensions a, b and c. Right, a rectangular box has dimensions a, we have dimension a, dimension b, dimension bani c. The area of the surfaces are 2 root 10 and then 3 root 2, 6 root 5 as shown in the diagram below. Calculate without using a calculator the volume of the rectangular box. Sifuna the volume of the rectangular box. So the volume, see calculator, the volume, the general formula for calculating volume is calculated using this formula. 80 volume is equal to length times breadth times height. And then in this case, the length ubani a, the length is a, the breadth ubani b, and then the height is actually bani c. So therefore, by substituting into the equation or into the formula of volume, so it's actually a times b times c, a being the length, b being the breadth, c being the height. So therefore volume, the formula for a volume in this case is actually a, b, c. So therefore, and siyabona ukuthi the areas, lama area areas are calculated, or surface areas in this case are calculated as, for this face, asiqale ngale face le area le 6 root 5 is calculated as a times c, so it's AC, right? And then this surface area 3 root 2 is actually calculated as B times C. This area is calculated as 2 root 10 is calculated as A. Remember, this is a rectangle, so the opposite sides are equal. So this area is calculated as A times bani times B. A times B. So therefore, by multiplying out lama volume, by multiplying out lama area walama faces law, AC times BC times AB is equal to, asiye AC ubani 6 root 5 times BC 3 root 2 times 2 root bani 10 root 10, or let me use my brackets again. Let me use my brackets now. Lona 10. So therefore, and then say about let's multiply my areas la on the left hand side, the A is going to multiply to A, so A squared, B multiply B, so B squared, C multiply C, so C squared, equal to, if I multiply out lama value I3 using a calculator, I know but it's not a calculator, but you say very scarred this thing. Remember go exam leso scarred to yapal, but ungasebenzisa calculator kahle kahle bathi ungaveli utholi answer nje, uyabona. You need to show ama steps wakho on usikhombisa ukuthi u-arrive kanjani kuleyo answer leyo. That's what they mean. Abafuna ukuthi uvele ubhale answer nje. So 2 square root 10 is equal to 360. So the trick lana was to actually have a formula, a volume, and then eventually ukwazi ukuthola ukuthi what's the value of A times B times C. So therefore now again, by squaring both sides ngisala no A, B, C, which gives me what? The volume. So I have to square both sides of the equation. So the square root of A squared, B squared, C squared is actually A, B, C, which is the volume. So therefore the volume is equal to the square root of 360. So this question ga 1.3 singasho sithi it's a form of equation, but it needs you to think outside the box kancane, right? Ama wildcard questions ke lawa. So the video for today iphelela lana, guys. Thanks for watching. Ungakhohlwa ukulike, ungakhohlwa ukusubscribe, ungakhohlwa ukushare nabangani bakho. And then once again, guys, thanks for the love and the support. So peace. I'm signing out. Ngizobona kule video ilandelayo.